Connell again. This is Tuesday, let's see, September 21st. And I have a ring search today. I was just sitting home there and I got a phone call from a lady that evidently this last Sunday, her and her husband were here, had gotten their boat into Oneida Lake, and was going to meet some other boaters up at the 3 Mile Bay area of Oneida Lake. This bay is an area that's fairly shallow. There's no camps around it. It's where what I lovingly refer to as the Boaters Beach. This is where one of the about 3 different places on Oneida Lake that the boaters go to on these nice days, and they all raft up together and party and have a good time. Well, Greg, her husband, as he was getting in the boat, evidently his ring come off and fell into the water. So they did what most people did. They got home, and then yesterday they turned around and went to Harbor Freight and bought a metal detector and found out that's not as easy as just turning it on, and it leads you to where the ring is. I've been better than 20 years running these metal detectors, and believe me, metal detectors speak metal detector. We speak English. I've tried to teach the metal detector how to speak English. It doesn't. So anyway, I've had to learn metal detector, what it tells me. So anyway, here I'm not ashore right now. They're supposed to be here in about another 5 minutes or so. And we'll get the scoop, and I'll get you on, get this back on. And we've got about a 3.5 mile boat ride. I might take a little video of that, but when we get there and get in the water, this should be a fairly easy find. He knows exactly where it came off, and it's only in about waist deep water. So unless somebody got there over the last couple of days, we'll find it for him. So see you in a little while. Now you were getting ready to leave, right?
Yep.
So you got your pegs over there that you thought that was where it was. So you pushed out, or
Yeah,
were you, was the boat,
right.
Did you pull the anchor?
No, yeah, this is what happened. I had the anchor pulled, and I was somewhere around here, and what happened was, I put, you just threw that. Oh, I thought it fell. So what happened was, I put my left foot on the ladder, my right hand on the outboard. I reached up, grabbed it, and just as I was pushing off with my right leg, I stubbed my toe pretty hard. I was like, oh my God, that's a huge rock. And then when I made my next grab to go over the top of the back of the boat, it caught on something, maybe a button. So we weren't moving, but what happened was, as soon as I hit by the time I was up there and said, oh my God, my ring fell off, we were probably drifting.
Yeah.
So that's why the rocks were important, because I know I hit myself on the rocks. And what happened was, as soon as it happened, I dropped down and I stayed there. So then I got myself to where, okay, I'm in front of these trees, and I knew I hit a rock. So that's why, and then we looked all around, but couldn't see anything. What I should have done, as soon as I dropped down, I should have made a formation with the rocks. Probably.
Well,
but
how are you going to move them? They're pretty good size there.
Yeah, so
okay.
That's what happened.
So you were about waist deep again.
Yeah.
So it's right in here somewhere.
Yeah, so I was... Yeah, so when my older son, when I said I'm not moving, he jumped off the side of the boat and he hit it. He actually hurt his 2 toes pretty hard. And those are the ones that were really pointed over there.
Yeah.
So there's pointed rocks, because I went over to check on them and I killed my feet. I cut my feet. So if those are the ones that were really sharp,
and that's got to be right in here.
Right around there.
Yeah. Got a nice hole to in here, but I've been digging all bottle caps in here, so it's only 2 scoops per feet. What are you doing? Another bottle cap. Well, I kind of hope this light is good enough. It's dark here now, and okay, Craig had that spot perfect. He had put some markers in there yesterday when he went back with his metal detector that he thought that was the rocks that were on, and they were, so it turns out they were. I got there and we walked around and I got right up to those where he has markers and the rocks. And these rocks, that whole 3 Mile Bay, the only place there are any rocks is right up by Phillips Point. And so when they told me on the phone that they were by the rocks, I knew exactly where it was, and he took me right there, and he had them regular, but I figured I'd have some trouble with those rocks because they're big. It's not a bunch of little small rocks that you can just move easily. It was some awful big rocks to get into there, but I went right to his spot where he was, where he said that he thought it was, and where he tripped and got his feet in there, and sure enough, I could pick up some tones, but I just could not get the scoop down through those rocks. So I wandered around a little bit and hoping by all means that they would be, the ring actually wouldn't be in there, and I could not find them outside. So I finally got up there and I started taking my pinpointer out, and I started going down in the water, and I did that a couple of times, and ended up coming up with I think I come up with a pull tab once, and next time I come up with a bottle cap tab. So Greg was really quite interested in what was happening and all, so I gave him the pinpointer, and I said, Craig, right here. I said, I've got a good tone right here. Sounds to me like it's your ring. So I showed him how to operate the pinpointer, and he seemed really anxious to get down in there. And I said, just, you know, what I was doing, I was out taking the metal, my big metal detector, and basically telling him, right below here is where it's at, and then he would come down and follow down the shaft with his left hand, and as soon as I felt him hit the coil, I took the coil away, and then he would go down with the pinpointer, and he could reach down there up to actually feel the pinpointer vibrating, and then he was going down and feeling in amongst the rocks. And I told him, I said, it's going to be probably down in the cracks just below, right between where all these rocks are going come together. And he started working on it, and when he was working on it, I'd wander around a little bit more, still hoping that it was off those rocks. But pretty soon, I'm standing right there, and he pops up all the water with the biggest smile on his face you ever saw. I got it. And the interesting part was, he says, I was feeling down there, and he says that the ring just kind of rolled right up and on my finger. Think about that. That ring just, I know what he's talking about. You can feel the finger. You can feel when you feel the ring, you know it's a ring. And it's very easy to just stick your finger in it, and you pick it right out there. Well, the ring wanted to go back to Craig. And when Craig put his finger down there, the ring jumped on his finger. So anyway, I cut out I had a lot of video of me just digging bottle caps and all. And so now you're going to see his smile on his face. A smile. Oh, get it up here. Get it up here so you can see a little better. And actually, in this particular case, I found it with a detector, but I couldn't get it because of the rocks. And then Craig went upside down with a pinpointer and got it. So got it. That's the big part. Thank you very much, sir. Very much. Greg was glad we got it. So.